thanks for thanks for joining. Uh, it's a little late in the evening today, but I just wanted to make sure that we're fine with the IST. So thanks for joining, everybody. So what happened was we started with a term called content factory, where we had intense discussion with Global Answer, Arushi and team, and of course Tushar came in early. We had Devendra, who's going to evolve out to do his own business in India, who did most of the editing stuff. So there's going to be some transition also. Okay, so that's also a purpose, and we should all know each other because content is very important, and content is going to be a very important kind of value proposition for the app that we are going to launch very shortly. So having said that, over to you, Arushi, you've done. So over to you, Tushar. Yeah.
Hello everyone, my name is Tushar. I am from India and I have joined CWC in September. Actually, I was working for Naren sir earlier.
Which September?
This September. I joined with to work with Naren sir, and then he introduced me to Som sir, and then I get to know about the video content library. And since then we have completed all the videos, editing, uploading on the YouTube, and Kamalika is helping with us the rating and the how the video can be categorized or used. So that's what I've been doing, and then now currently I'm doing for website auditing, and now I'm gonna work closely with Arushi regarding Mailjet and website. So
no, that's good. But tell us a little bit, when did you start working on the video? We got more than 1,000, which is great. So thanks to you and Devin. So this is a lot of work, and we have been working together. I will discuss the journey and the process and the content factory later. But since when did you start? If you can just share a little bit of experience, because that helps for others to connect, and also as we go ahead, because we are going to learn a lot from what we have done, and of course we keep improving. So if you could just throw some light, कब से शुरू किया आपने या कैसे चल रहा है?
In September 2020, Som sir just introduced us to the CWC platform. Then we'll supposed to do the editing, the starting and the noise cancellation, and removing the unwanted screens from the videos. September 2020. Then moving forward since January, I think January 2021. We started taking it to the next level, micro learning. Then first we experimented it with a different kind of videos, the textual videos, the graphical videos. Then we started doing the first webinar that was conducted by CWC Online was on 4th April 2020. So since then there are 140 webinars till now. The next one is gonna be tomorrow, PT. So we have edited all those videos, cutting them, and in about 8 to 9 months we have completed all the videos. And Devin was the main part. He would do the editing work.
All the software part was done by Devin. Yeah. So that's going to change a bit, and also we're going to change the process where we'll talk about how Kamalika comes in at a much earlier level to do the rating and so on. So over to you, Kamalika. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, Somnath and Inder, and good morning, Tushar and Arushi. So I have joined CWC around November, mid-November, beginning of November 2021. And that's when I've been asked to do the ratings of the videos, based on the 10 points, the parameters that Somnath had shared with me. And so far I have completed around 660 videos of varied lengths. 660, yeah.
660, okay.
Yeah. So, and I'm quite excited about I'm quite excited to be a part of this team, and going forward the new projects that are supposed to come up. And and you've been all so helpful and supportive. Like, I started off suddenly and I didn't have any idea how I would go about it, but anyway, it fell through very well, very smoothly. So Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, and the shareable spreadsheet was very useful, so everybody could see what others are doing and also help each
Yeah,
other. The whole idea, there are a lot of
right.
collaboration. So constantly Tushar could see what's going on, and and sometimes I think Kamalika did a great job in terms of the speed at which, and sometimes the speed was so great that Tushar and Devin had to accelerate. But now they're finished, so that's good. So she had to wait. So it's good. And also, I want to tell you the way Kamalika did was that she started with a smaller video, less than 3 minutes, then 3 to 7, then 7 about. So that was
Oh,
a
I
priority.
started with 3 to 7, Shomnath. Then I
Okay.
moved on to less than 3, and then
Okay,
later on.
okay. So we prioritize because that's what we need for the app, right? So it was prioritized because longer ones, there was no point doing much because that's not going to be in the app, at least in the initial phase. So that strategy was adopted. Yeah, in there you have been.
So
Sorry.
before proceeding, I want to like to add a point here. Kamalika is, very thorough about the rating and the video quality. That helped us a lot. We have modified our new videos since she joined, and she commented on the videos. So that helped us a lot.
Thanks, Tushar. But I tried my best to, adhere to the 10 points that he had shared, Shomnath had shared. So, because we all want to have the quality should be always perfect. And in terms of viewing also, it needs to be appealing. And quality wise, the content of the videos are really good. So, no two ways about it. But wherever there are few things, little bit here and there, I just put it up.
Yeah. And also for the first time in the history of CWC, we are going to charge the videos. So if you charge, the rating has to be. So she was strict, not to be negative about the work. She was strict because it was important for her to be strict so that, we make sure that the rating is high, then we can price it accordingly. I mean, some of the things we may be a little flexible, but at least it will give you a very good benchmark guideline how we price it, right? Because we have different categories of member, and that will help Arushi as well when she's putting the, allocating the videos, right, Arushi?
Right, so.
Yeah, okay, so over to you, Inder. It's just about, today is going to be the 9th, and it's just about a month with you. So yeah, just about a month. So it's a 1-month anniversary CWC, but over a period of time, you have delved in many, many things, and you'll be supervising a lot of work, right? So Inder carries, she'll tell you about herself, but she carries a lot of experience, AWS and Oracle and name it. She's been the CEO, co-founder of companies, and of course, she's both hands-on as well as she's very, I would say, thorough in her way of doing things, and really glad to have her. Over to you, Inder.
Well, like Somnath said, I've been here for a month, so I'm still in the learning phase, very honestly. So don't be surprised if I email you or call you with questions you're like, what is she asking for and why? But it's because I'm just trying to come up to speed on everything. But nice to know you all. And I've gone through some of the videos and all, and they're pretty good quality. And I'm glad you pointed out there were some 5 rating. I don't know, I guess in that whole thing, I just flipped through them and I didn't see any. But I think there's a lot of work that we all need to do together to make this a really good organization. So I'm looking forward to that.
Thank you. Thank you. So let's go ahead with the agenda. Okay. So any other comments by any of you? Because all are very important team members. So any other observation, anything that you wanted to add, but you couldn't in the introduction about yourself or the work you're doing? Arushi, while driving, you can speak a little bit if you wish to add something.
Yeah. So just talking about the history, because everyone, was highlighting that part. So we started, like me and my team started with the entire process in 2019 May. So we started with a small maintenance of the earlier WordPress website, and then we revamped the entire thing on the branding front, because earlier, I don't know you know or not, but it was red and yellow that we were having earlier in CWC. Then the entire website work was, branding work was revamped, and then we came to WordPress website that me and Som closely worked and gave it a shape, which is it which is we are having now. And now going forward, as Inder told, that we together have to work like in a very close collaboration to take everything in the next level. So that's all from my side.
Great. So let me start with the content factory. So this was a term we had coined actually. There's nothing called content factory as such. It's not something I Googled and found. But actually what we are doing is like a content factory. In fact, if you look at it, there's an assembly line, a very nicely done. It's not a mechanical assembly line in a company that you come and, input, output kind of thing. But, we are trying to design a factory where, the content is getting in, it's being processed and it's going out. And it's very important to know the journey of the content, right? And we did a lot of flow chart, initially. That was even before the advent of Tushar. We had Jiten, me, and Arushi had long, late night. Of course, my late night calls, I think 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock here in the US, we used to have long call about the content factory, the full chat. So we had some flow chart. And also remember, the content is also going to be integrated with AI. That is going to be very exciting. Those are some of the projects that Tushar would be doing, and Global Lancer will be doing, and you will also be doing, all of you will be doing. So we used a software called Otter. Okay, that basically helps to translate, the video into audio, and you can do a lot of other stuff, scripting and stuff like that. Otter. So you can check out Otter. So we did Otter. So we will definitely pick an artificial intelligence thing, because that helps in tagging the video. Because the idea is, Crack the Wellness Code is going to have this is personified by this Kushi, right? And Kushi will be like any other digital assistant like Siri, right? And she will actually be able to search videos. If I want to search videos, so she will do that. Now that's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen overnight, but it is a learning process, because AI can happen, and AI can be perfected only when rigorous learning, by the data sets and the model that we create, right? So we'll be modeling that, and the data set will be created that way. But so it's very important, if the data is not properly done, the content factory is not smooth, it's not efficient, then Kushi cannot do anything. It's all useless, right? Okay, like at one end, we have to make the content very good and valuable, like the rating that Kamalika is doing. At the same time, it has to be searchable. I mean, so if you see the second agenda point, it's a content factory and the user need. Why are we doing this? Okay, so first of all, content factory has very robust process, and we are supposed to make it even more robust. Okay, this whole content will is captured from, what are the sources of the content? Let's start from there. One source is on-site. We are doing an event on-site, right? So it can be captured through video camera. Okay, so on-site video camera will capture the content. Okay, and it will send to the cloud. Okay, and from there we process it. That's one way. The second is through Zoom, okay, which is online. So everything is recorded in Zoom, like we are recording today. Now, after recording, what happens? This Zoom I'm recording in the cloud. So when I record in the cloud and not in my machine, Tushar can also have access to it. So he would log into the Zoom account and he can download that video, and then the content factory starts, right? But there are a lot of things in the content factory that has to be taken care of. For example, now all these videos have been down. Now Kamalika comes in and she starts rating it. Well, now she knows what is what, right? And what happens is that once the raw video, which is in Zoom, even before it is cut and edited, somebody like Kamalika can actually come in and make some comments there, right? And that was a point that Tushar made, right? If Kamalika can come earlier, let's say the session is over and the raw video is up in the cloud, okay, now you don't have to watch the entire video, but you can certainly put some taglines and things like that. So typically the way it works is, let's say February 10, we have a webinar on seniors, right? It is called Aging with Grace. It's for seniors. It's tomorrow. February 10 is tomorrow, right? Tomorrow. So what will happen is that once this session is over, the title of this thing is all there in the event calendar. You can see the title, but we still might be refining the title, okay? And say, this is the title. And then we'll say, capture this speaker, this speaker, this speaker. Because during the video, somebody was there during the session, so before Kamalika spends her time and all this process of looking, she also benefits. They say, you know what, there are 3 speakers, one speaker somehow goofed up. We cannot take that speaker. So she doesn't even bother to look at it, right? That's gone. Okay. So what happens, Tushar, everybody's time is saved. Okay. So what we need to do is to look at the video very objectively, right? So when so now, obviously, Tushar is not attending all the live session, right? I will be, or somebody, Inder will be, or somebody, right? So our job, suppose in 2022, we have 13 online events, which is not a big deal. 13, just 13 online events. So obviously, I mean, we have done 13 in a month. Tushar knows, more than 13 in a month. Now we're doing 13 a year, which means we are doing quality. So no compromise on quality. We're going to charge. Plus, we have a huge archive we are sitting on, right? So now it's the quality than the quantity, right? Okay. So, and also there's a lot of video in the, cyberspace, right? So it has to be very good. It has to be very searchable. So one is the user need. So the content has to meet the user. It cannot be very long. That's why we are cutting it, right? Nobody watches 1 hour video. It cannot be exactly TikTok, but at least, something which is, pretty crisp, crisp, and it has to be like videos will have, what is it all about? What is the take home point? So there may be more captions in the video. Now, these are areas where Global Lancer and Arushi comes in. I don't see Arushi, she's disappeared. Because this is something that she needs to know, because there has to be a lot of improvement out there. So let me just call her. I think while driving, she lost connection. Okay, so let me just call her 1 sec. Oh, thank goodness I just saw that she's missing. Yeah, she's here now. Okay, I don't have to call. Okay. Yeah, Arushi, you're back. Oh yeah, you're back. So 20 minutes, you reached earlier than 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I told you to drive safely, not so fast.
No, I was in a very safe mode.
Okay. So anyway, the thing is this way, that the videos that are going to come, okay, now they have to be, cut at the right point, okay? Because in the past, what was happening is that Tushar would get a video, okay, and these videos were not ratified. So Kamalika comes in now, okay? So what happens, the raw video, which comes out of Zoom. So this is very important. This is the whole purpose of the meeting today. So content factory is a process where content is captured from the on-site or online. Now, even if you're having on-site, we can stream through Zoom. Okay, we can stream the content through Facebook, right? Okay, there can be a video camera. There are a lot of video cameras that we have. We have a 360-degree rotating video camera in there, which Sachin has. Very nice camera. So it goes around. So it captures very nicely. We did that in the women wellness session, and it also sends the entire thing to Facebook from the camera itself. Okay, and it can also stream it through Zoom. Okay, so what I'm saying is that now, after post-COVID, hopefully we'll get back to on-site soon. So we'll do on-site. So it's going to be streamed. It's very important for Arushi for you to know that's going to be streamed. Okay, so it will be streamed. It goes to Zoom. It goes to the Zoom cloud. You have the access to the account, right? So, and Kamalika will also have access to the account. Okay, so what will happen is that somebody at CWC who's actually been in the event, okay, sometimes if possible, of course the time zones are difficult, Kamalika might attend the session. There are only 13 online sessions. I was saying that we had more than 13 monthly, right? So it's pretty good. We're focusing more on content. So she can attend the session and she can see what's going on. And she found that there's something really wrong. So at least when she's going, her rating job becomes easier, right, Tushar? And then when it goes to Global Lancer, which is going to be replacing Devinder, because then it goes to Tushar and Devinder. Tushar will come more, using the intelligence part and all. We'll talk about that later. But now the content factory is undergoing some change, some transitions are happening. So Global Lancer is going to come in, after the session is over. Okay, so let's say tomorrow the session is over. Now Devin is here till February. So now the same process continues from 1st March. Okay, the moment it happens, we have 3 events, by the way. It's not a big deal. We have only 3 events in March, right? In the heart, women, and what's the other one? Whatever. You are muted in there.
I don't have the calendar in front of me, but
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I think the other one is the diabetes.
That is correct.
diabetes, that's the
Yeah,
launch
we're
of the
launching the
class.
course. Yeah.
Good. Thank
12th
you.
is 12th is heart, 19th is diabetes, and then we have the women.
Women.
Right?
Yeah, women
We have
issue.
2 events, whatever. Okay. So what happens? So there are very few events. So what happens is that we'll alert ourselves and we know that this event is happening. Okay. So there will be somebody in the on-site. So if Kamalika, for example, can a little bit of a challenge, we'll see the time zone, because 6 o'clock is now 7:30 in the morning for you, but in the after March it's going to be 6:30 in the morning for you. So that may not be very conducive. But then you don't have to be on a video. You're in listening mode, right? Okay. So you don't have to be in a video or anything that sort. So and twice and thrice a month. So you can just join. Okay, listen. Okay, and then after the session is over, either Inder or me will have a call with you. Okay, and exchange some notes. Okay, based on that you will do the rating. Okay, and your rating will go to Global Lancer. Tushar, clear how the change is happening? Arushi, any question?
Yeah,
Please
I have a
intervene.
question.
Huh.
I have a question because the videos that I have seen, though I have not seen all of them or most of them, but the videos that I have seen, they are edited and they are cut, right? So my suggestion in this is to make it more interactive. We can add elements also coming in the video so that people are not getting digressed by watching long videos. I'm not talking about the videos which are of less than 3 minutes. That definitely is having a lot of value. But if we talk about 10 minutes, then it becomes very, problematic for the people to stay long, because in this today's era, everybody is looking for the micro content. So in order to make them stick to that particular video, we can add elements to it. And because why it is important is later on we are going to put the analytics on our Khushi app that which video is being viewed for the most number of minutes or like that. And according to that, it is going to be trending on the top of the app. So that becomes useful. One point was this. And second point, since we are going for the new year, you already, like Som already, and maybe Inder already are working on this, that we need to structure the entire content. So if Kamalika is seeing a lot of videos, then she can definitely give the input that in what flow the entire video should go, or in what flow the entire event should go. Definitely it depends upon the speaker, but we can give them the structure so that at the end of the day, we have more value from the videos and people are quite receptive to them.
Yeah, that's why we are all here for the call. So when we said quality, so one part of the quality is that there are some early interventions, right? Okay, so Kamalika is intervening much more earlier, right? Okay, so when the video comes to you, it comes with, you get a raw video, but you get with a lot of useful sort of rating and other stuff, right? Inputs from Kamalika. But what is important is that whatever that you said, that will be done. Plus, on top of that, I would also say that we can include some imagery. We can use some infographics, right? So let's say heart. Now imagine March 12, we're having heart, right? Everybody knows this heart. It's a very important event. Okay, it is by a person who actually had a heart surgery and is a doctor. Okay, and his story is amazing. So we should be very, very excited that we're getting this opportunity to really have captured this person, right? So as a content team, so earlier what happened was we are generating content like in a factory, like it's a mass production, because we started, there's pandemic, everybody was locked at home, we were helping people with this, right? But now the scenario is changing, and we have enough archive, right? We're focusing on quality. So 3 events a month, and everybody knows this is the event. You can heart. So some research, some nice infographics on heart ready. So the moment the heart is done, we have the infographics ready. We know the speaker. We know who's the bio of the speaker. All those kind of things, right? So Kamalika will get a lot on these things, right? So we'll do some research. And by the way, when we do an event, we also have to create a flyer. Not always, mostly. Like for example, senior event, in there has seen there's a flyer, right? So you should demand that flyer. It will be part of the process. See, what happens is that, so every event, we have now gone to the G drive sharing, right? So the G drive, in the G drive, you can click that folder, senior. Okay, under senior, you have February 10 folder. Now in February 10 folder, you'll have all the flyer. So you don't have to send email. Oh my goodness, this event is over, send me the email. Those things have to just be out, right? So you just cloak the, so you will, Global Lancer will also have the access. Kamalika will access to the folder. She'll just click the folder, senior folder, then say February 10. And in February 10, she'll everything, the speakers, slides, everything. Okay. And slowly, by the way, the content factory will also include slides and others. It was very difficult to do all that. Imagine 1,000 videos and what resources and training to share and all, they had to be trained and they picked up so well. But this is something very new, right? So now you also have the slides. Okay, so how do we use the slide in the content factory? That also comes there, right? So you can, because some of the times the videos are aided by wonderful slides, and we are being very strict about the slides. We're saying not more than 2, 3. This time in senior, there's a person who's going to talk about energy, core energy. And she was told to present not more than 3 slides. I mean, she's going 4 or 5, but very nice, very pictorial slides. So people have, see, at the end of the day, quality also depends on the speaker, no? And initially in the pandemic, people were also panicking. You can't tell them, come and speak and then do this, do that. It was a little tough, right? But now people are getting used to that. And we have very clear processes, because they're also volunteering their time. So all those, as you mentioned, we're going to induct all these quality buttons into the system, right? So
that, just to add one thing to it, because, as Inder already created the flyer for seniors, right? Now, when that senior part is going to come up, we will be needing the thumbnail for the video, right? And that thumbnail for the video needs to be creative enough for the people to give them a prompt that it should be
creative and attractive, very attractive. It has to be very compelling. When I see the thumbnail, I'll be just tempted to
just click on it, right?
Yes,
so thumbnail is a very important part. And then going forward in the slides also, because when we are going to put content for money, everything has to be synchronized in the branding scheme. So even if the speakers, we should give them the template that this is the template that you need to use for your presentation. And then you can put whatever you want. This is just my idea, because when we are creating or thinking of it as a brand, it should go in a very cohesive manner. And it should not be like any random thing, because at the end of the day, we have to bring value to the table. And value.
Oh, yeah. People are going to pay for it, it's pricing. And the other thing which I did tell you all, I want to add once again, is that we have a lot of benchmark, Mytonomy and so on. We definitely have to look at those things, right? Those sites, I've given a Bright Talks video, right? The Bright Talk videos. So those are definitely benchmark. But, the whole idea is not to, all the time compare and get to this model. Just do a good job and create differentiators, because everybody has their own agenda. There's no point comparing, but at least we should have some good ideas that flow from them, and we should pick up some good ideas. But we should be competing with our own selves, okay, and create a very nice differentiator in the niche. That's the whole purpose, okay. So the second point of the agenda is extremely important. Therefore, objective of CWC Content Factory. You know what a content factory is now, right? And the end user needs. So they have to really, match, right? And that's what we're talking about, like make it appealing, make it short, have infographics and so on. Now to do that, the content factory has to be tweaked. The assembly line of the factory has to be tweaked, and that's what we're talking about. Any questions on that? It's a very, very, very important topic. Any questions, any doubts, any ideas, suggestions, please? Very important.
No, I just wanted to address quickly what Arushi brought, because it's a very good point. I mean, if we're going to become a standard bearer and we want to make sure that everything is concise, precise, and people know what to expect of us, quality is key. I don't think it's going to happen, Arushi, day one, but I think that's our goal. And that's why Som is putting in all the structure and all about having certain processes in place. And that's why we're in the process of bringing some people in. But I think we need to come to a point within the next few months very quickly as to what the structure of each presentation needs to be. We need to be able to have a speaker bureau defined so we know who we're going to pick on for what topics. And they should come to us with certain expectations too.
That's another thing that Kamalika will take care along with Soumya. So the speaker bureau. So like we have 94 doctors who have participated with us. Okay. Now we want to do a program on diabetes. We have so many endocrinologists. Now why should we search, right? Okay, so these are all kind of accessible. Or let's say one person goofed up and the one endocrinologist, something happened to that person couldn't join. We have another one. The speaker bureau is a very, very important thing, right? The speaker will have healthcare, it will have doctors, it will have all kinds of people, practitioners, yoga teacher. And to some extent, the speaker bureau and the service provider is the marketplace, there may be some overlap. Arush, you understand that, right? You are remembering that there's an overlap between the speaker. So imagine what we are going. So it's a very different kind of a discussion we're having today, and we've never done that in history of science. So you have been on all the calls. Tushar, you also talk, now we're getting to understand, right? We're going to have a large service. So there'll be a little bit of service. So like Dr. Naresh Bhatt is a doctor, just an example, right? He's going to be part of a speaker. He's a very good speaker. But then he's also a service provider. He has 6 clinics in the Bay Area, 6 clinics, okay? So, and he can provide service on heart scan, right? Discount, right? So it's a service provider, right? So those kind of things, you know, so there will be a service provider list, which is great. So that's where the ecosystem is going. So the first thing of CWC is why it is different from others and why it is, you know, has so much of potential is the ecosystem, the concept of ecosystem. Then the masala, the ecosystem is all the recipe of a, you know, the marketplace and all that. And we now say 3 C's. You saw my definition of Khushi, Arushi. Did I mention 3 C's? Always
Yes,
remember
yes.
3 C's: content, community, and commerce. Okay. Now with the app, these 3 C's were not there because it was a commerce, right? The potential was there, right? But the app we are launching the marketplace in April. That's another very important thing to share. These are very exciting things. But we can only do that when we do some legal thing because, you know, marketplace, you know, refund of money and all those things, it's not an easy thing, right? So we'll keep it very simple. We'll work with service we know very well, so that there's nothing, and then slowly scale. But basically what we are saying is that come and attend a diabetes course, okay, learn from it, and then, you know, you learn that this is the kind of food you should eat, okay? So you may have somebody who's teaching about mindful eating, and then there's a food, the same food is available, it can be sent to your doorstep, or recipes are available. If you're not here local, then you're hearing online, the recipes are available for you. So those are kind of ways that we're going to so thanks for mentioning speaker bureau, because that's in the agenda. How we do that. Speaker bureau is again the pipeline. So the content pipeline and the speaker bureau are important. And then the other thing I want to tell you is that this is a matter of details. I don't want to spend much time, but I want to tell you that we also have speakers template. So suppose, you know, Tushar confirms that he's going to speak, right? So he gets a mail with this thing, and that's something I'll share with you in there. So this template says, see, it is sometimes very difficult to deal with this. I met a cardiologist. He sent me 87 slides. Huh. Okay. Now that was very tough, and he's a very iconic thing. What do you do with him, right? Okay, so we do that, and then some people have a lot of images. So those are things. So, but we mentioned very clearly how many slides, how many how many minutes they spend talking, all those kind of things, right? So we have a speaker's template. It's also very important because we may keep talking, but the speaker goes up, then it's a problem, right? Okay. Then the other things I think we have very when we started was like the audio, video of the speaker and all those kind of stuff. That's not clear, then what do we do, right? Okay, the whole purpose is different. But if you see the videos that are there, Kamalika has done 660 rating. And she says, yeah, there are some, she knows and she's mentioned also that when she's rating that this video is good, but the lighting was not good, the speaker was not loud enough, right? But we have overcome all that to a large extent, right? Or I'm going to say almost overcome that, but there are cases which is beyond our scope. So that's the way we are going to do the user base. I think this is a discussion which can go even deeper, but the whole idea is that we are tweaking the assembly line in the process of the content because of the learnings and new possibilities, more content quality oriented, and also more amenable to intelligent search, intelligent recommendation. So the first step is search, then recommendation, right? Because search is, it will tell you certain things very quickly, it's a big possibility and so on. But recommendation comes when you become a member and you put up few things about yourself. Then Khushi can recommend. Then Khushi knows that you have logged in for the 7th time or the 8th time, and Khushi knows that you have said that you have you want to help, you want to improve your diet because you have some diabetes issues, okay, or whatever. So then you can start it, because recommendation only come when I know I get more data about you, right? So that's how the user base and the content factory will work. I can go to the next point. Any questions? Very important point. Very important point. Because things are changing and more technology, more learnings, speaker bureau, then service providers, and also our own understanding of the speakers, how that happened, our own understanding of the processes. This was a very important thing. The third topic is content management and distribution. So can I go to that? Any question for item number 2 before I go to number 3?
So I want to ask a thing.
Yeah, please.
Me, you,
Please.
Arushi, go ahead.
Whoever. Okay, sure. Yeah, Arushi. Yes.
No, so Kamalika and Inder, my question is to you, like, because we are having set 12 programs, like cancer, diabetes, and the list is on. But are we having any set parameter? Because if I look at from the technology perspective and the data modeling perspective, which is going to come in for AI, I want that if, say, for example, any disease or lifestyle disease, say diabetes, right? So it is having the definition of diabetes. It is having the root causes of it. It is having the precautionary measures for it. It is having the mitigations measure for it. And what else can be, how it can be subsidized or how it can be reduced to the effect. So all these 6-7 points, are we having the videos on these 6-7 points, or are we having on 3 and then the new speakers are coming in and then they are again elaborating those 3 points and 3 are not being taken care of? So are we channelizing the video content that we are gathering? Because what is going to happen is when we are going to tag and say, for example, we are done with 1,000 videos, and out of those 1,000 we are having 20 videos for diabetes, right? And for diabetes, and on those 20 videos we are having tags which is saying causes for diabetes, or like root reasons for diabetes. And all those 16 out of those 20 videos, 16 videos are being tagged for the same level. But when a person is coming for mitigations or the precautionary measures for diabetes, we're not having any video, right? So in that case, how are we going to balance the entire stuff is my question.
Well, when you start something like this, initially you're very generic, and then you become more specific, right? Okay, so that's precisely what is happening, and I would invite Kamalika to give some observation on that, because she's done all these things, because she's rated it. Okay, while cutting it, Kuchar may not have been so cognizant about it. But I can tell you from my own understanding, because I have obviously, all the sessions I have been there. So I've seen all the sessions, I know what went on, right? The proceedings and so on. It's a very Herculean task, but yeah, I'm very privileged, also very challenged to do that. Okay, almost, so many hundreds of sessions and so on. But I want to tell you that we started generic. We said diabetes, right? But then we said, okay, risk management, okay, and so on. So, but you see, the whole idea is that also that there are different angles of risk management. Okay, say you are a doctor, you are an endocrinologist, Arushi, and Tushar is another endocrinologist, right? So there'll be different takes. So we also offer that. Because we are a platform, remember, to crack your wellness code, right? So we are providing resources. So we are not saying we are giving medical advice. We are not doctors, right? We're not supposed to do that. And the US laws also, it's a HIPAA rule. Right? So we are saying that, look, this is the diabetes. The Khushi should be able to search. There should be taglines. I'm coming to that a little more. So there are two things. One is the policy thing, because the health, right? It's health. The policy is very clear, because what are we providing to users? We are providing them a platform, okay, where you find resources to crack your own code. We'll give them some recommendation, but technically and legally, we cannot tell them, okay, Kamalika, you have this thing, do this. We cannot do that. There's a disclaimer there, right? Okay,
Yeah.
So we have to play that very well. So what we are saying is that we'll give you various on diabetes, but within diabetes, we are getting into specialized. Okay, right in the beginning, probably it was a little generic, but if you look at the diabetes, so anything that you want to comment on that, Kamalika, if you see just take a diabetes.
No, I think I would go with you, Shomnath, because mostly whatever I can recollect regarding the diabetes videos, they are basically generic. Yeah, I mean, we are not addressing anything like as you mentioned, right? Anything particular or what do you call more than generic thing, because as you mentioned, disclaimer part, I mean, it is definitely not like a doctor prescribing things and you're going to follow that, because each one is different, each one's condition is different, and you really do not know what would work for whom.
Yeah.
How.
Yeah. But there's something interesting happening. Inder, you want to say something? Inder, you're
Yeah, I
muted.
just want to say that
Yeah.
if our goal is to really personalize the well-being of people who come to us, and I'm not saying it's going to be like prescriptive, but personalization, I think leading to what Arushi is saying is that if we understand what we're going to look for, so I may be looking for different information for diabetes, and whereas Kamalika may be looking for different information based on our background and our DNA and everything. But the software and the Kushi app needs to allow for those searches. And I think going back to Arushi's point on that, if I understood her correctly, is there's certain things AI can do. So we have to be prescriptive in the way our content is being created, especially the videos. So it's easier for me to come and personalize, look for information I need without a doctor telling me how I'm going to get treated. And Kamalika should be able to look for her own information her way.
Great. So there's a very interesting answer that I want to give you on that. Okay. Every program we do, okay, if Soumya was there, she would tell you because she was working very closely with me. Every program with this diabetes hack, we have a slide called learning objective. Tushar was saying that. Every program, right? Even senior, like we're going aging with grace. What is the learning objective? Okay. So what is now going to happen is that, let's say Kamalika is doing the rating, okay, she will look at the learning objectives and she will put certain notes, okay, these are the things that we need to take. To some extent, Tushar used to do that. I used to give it to him, right? So we have learning objectives, and learning objectives is there are some questions. What is this topic? What is this? What is the take-home point? How do I practice? So those things were addressed. So each program, we also have slides which basically talk about it. Now we can be more involved because obviously there's not so many people right now. There's a bigger team, right? So it was like Tushar and me trying to do, and Tushar was not there earlier. No, okay. So it was just So what has happened is that we have actually created, because earlier we did the video, right, and it was put in the cloud. And it was stored. Then we started the factory, right, Tushar, right? So now it's very online. Today a program happened, tuck, you mention, it goes straight away, right? But earlier a program happened, okay, we had to get people to edit it, right? So we had started putting in like a warehouse, right? So there was a warehouse in the factory. But now we are much aware. Now answering Anushi's question, as you are working with me, both of us are doing it together, we are starting a challenger course on diabetes, okay? Now that's very specific. Okay, so one of our policies also that while Kushi will be able to do that, but we also have to drive people. Kushi will also say, go and buy the course, because we also have to, sort of have a kind of thing. So that's something that we are doing. The course is very specific. What I'll do is, we can share this. You can share that file with everybody in the spreadsheet, down in the spreadsheet, or link may not be just, or I can send the spreadsheet to all of you. So look at the diabetes spreadsheet. Arushi, you'll find it very useful. Arushi, are you there? Hello?
Did we lose her?
No, she's there. But no, she's
not.
Yeah, she has a very flaky connection wherever she's. I don't know which part of Jaipur are you in, Tushar? Which part is she? आपका connection लगता है अच्छा है, हाँ?
Sir, actually, she's joined with her phone, so that might be a problem. That if someone calls, then internet got lost. That might be a case.
Okay.
She's from his.
Yeah, otherwise her network should be good because she's in the office. And office, I think her office is very well equipped with the infrastructure. Okay, she's trying to join again. Okay.
So in the meanwhile, I'll add a point.
Please.
I have seen almost all the videos.
Of course,
Not
you have
all,
seen.
almost I have all the
Of course, of course.
and all the videos are generic. Not any. There are not any prescription specified to any problem. The doctor suggests that if there is a problem, then you can consult to a doctor. And if they suggest anything, then they are on lifestyle based. So
yeah, no, but
can
what Arushi is saying, see, there are two parts of it. One is a prescriptive part, which we will not do, will not. But the other part which Arushi is saying, which Inder is also kind of focusing on, is that there has to be a situation where you say risk management. Risk management. So there are tags. So she's not talking about prescription. Prescription is one part. Okay, that we're avoiding. But we can certainly say that diabetes and diet, diabetes and lifestyle. Okay, so I want to know about what kind of lifestyle I should practice. So those kind of tags really help. That is one. And second thing, we were looking for you. Connection was flaky, so we lost you. So we just wanted to address you. Would you back here? So Arushi, we are doing a course, challenger course on diabetes. Okay. So after this call, we'll send you a spreadsheet which has how the course is being done. So what we are doing now, this is a very different thing where all these things can be done. So one thing we said that we have this learning objective where we say, what is this? Every program we have it. So that slide can be used for cutting and editing. Okay, because it also depends how you say. I'll tell you an example. Let's say diabetes. The speakers have finished. Okay, after that there are question and answer session. Now that are very provoking. Somebody asking very specific question on something which you can actually looking for, right? But that has to be captured. That has nothing to do with the speaker, because the speaker has to speak little generically, right? But then people ask a question. You know what? I had this problem with diabetes and I want to know about this, or something about insulin. Let's say, okay, where can I get insulin pump? Where can I get this? So then what happens is that the question answer becomes very important. So that's why the question answer is also going to be reviewed very well. So Sushar started doing that. So we started doing that. And when you do a question answer, when people raise questions in the Zoom, you can download the question answer. So one other thing that we have to do is that, so just to answer your question, so just to answer your question, the whole package is basically the chats, the Q&A, because those Q&A can be fed to Khushi, you getting the point? So each session, so I'm just adding new dimension, because you see at the end of the day, there are a lot of tools, right? Okay, and when you're using modeling and technology, you have to use the tool also, right? So we can certainly use those tools, and Q&A are great, right? So let's say there are 10 questions asked, we just take 4, which is the top, which bubble up as the best, right? Okay, and that can be fed in a way that, so that's another element that we can do. Second is diabetes course itself. So that's also a pricing policy. We want to also divert people to the course because of the marketplace, right? So go to the marketplace and buy this course, because the course has 6 sessions. Just to tell you, you'll see that. We'll share the details with you. So one course is like 6 to 7 pre-recorded video stacks. Okay. So the endocrinologist will be recorded. So 6, 7 stacks. And then there's a live session, and we start a support group. We are not copying Coursera and Udemy. There are a lot of people who said, well, let's do something like that. Let's borrow the platform. Remember, there was a lot of debate on e-learning platform. Why do we need that? Why do we need that? Why do we have to have a platform at all, right? What we can do is we can do 6, 7 pre-recorded things, very specific, which we can search, and then start a support group with that. Okay, because if I'm having a diabetes problem and I hear 6, 7 videos, it's called Challenger, and I can resolve most of the things answered, then I have one live session with the doctor, because I attend the class, right? I've seen the videos. So now the endocrinologist, I can ask everything straight away and I get answers, and then I have a support group. So sometimes the support group, the doctor can come and say certain things. So that's a package. And that is different from Coursera. Coursera cannot do that.
So once we have the data, we can even create forums. We can put the entire set of questions into a knowledge base, and people can search it out. And that is why I was asking the distribution and management front of content, because later on, what is going to happen is when we are going to move ahead, because what we are doing is the groundwork. If we do it right now,
absolutely, that's why we're having this call.
Coming back when we are having thousands of videos, we cannot just go and do the thing what we should do right now. And later on, the recommendations are going to come. Khushi is going to be intelligent, and the person is asking about certain things about diabetes. So the next part of Khushi is that on the top only that person can see the related or the relevant content about diabetes that he might not even look for, and he can just have it on his feed. So that part will be very, very intuitive, but that can be intuitive only if we have the
So what I
content
would
presentation.
suggest is that if you can give a checklist to all the content team, because this is how it has to be done, because you are actually putting that and modeling around it, right? So it should ideally come from, we know what you're looking for. I think everybody is committed to do what you do, but it has to be modeled, right? You know, when you model something, you need to have a checklist so that the people have it, refer to it. A checklist is always good. We know, but knowing is not enough, right? We need to be
Yeah.
precise. So if a precise checklist comes, so whoever is doing that, whether it's editing, whether it's rating, whether it's, and even when you tell a speaker, I said, this is a checklist, this is the way we do it, right? I said, look, if your video is not searchable in our content factory, what's the point, right? So that checklist,
That's what I'm saying, that need a structure on the top of it.
yeah, that's what the whole call is, that because now see, we have a lot of reasons to celebrate, 1,000 videos with that kind of resource that we have, but we're not celebrating. Of course, we're happy, we are celebrating, but we're not complacent, right? We're not complacent. So we are building on that. We're building more layers of efficiency and optimization around it. So that's what it is. So anything else before we go to the third point? Great call, I think, but it's very valuable. Yeah, that's why we're recording. We'll send you the recording.
For our content factory, there is also a podcast channel. There is gonna be a podcast channel.
Yeah, I'll come to that. Yeah, I'll
Okay.
come to that. Yeah, I'll come to that. That is point number 3. Thanks for saying. Okay, content management and distribution. Okay, so first of all, we said the content factory, how we manage it. So we talked about slides, right? So as Tushar mentioned, podcast. We have an account in Podbean, right? And we already have some podcasts in Spotify. Okay, and these are also going to be in the app. Okay, the podcast, right, Arushi? So that is another content that you can have. Maybe we can single out the podcast in a particular way, because there's audio, even in the video, in the web we have done it. So you can model it the same way in the audio, the app, right? The podcast. So they're going to be podcasts, they're going to be slides, and they're going to be things. So content is not just video. Okay, so first is, of course, people would love to go for video, but then there are people who would like to also read up the slides, look at things. And slide doesn't mean a lot of slides, but just 3-4 very precise or structured slides. So, but we have not been able to get there because we don't have resources, right, to look at so many slides. We have tons of slides. Okay, that's itself a separate project. That's something. Then we'll have a separate team for that, etc., etc. And I don't want to really complicate matters with slide now, but slide is happening. And we keep it very well. All these hundreds of programs, we have the slides, and these are slides by doctors. They're valuable. This is priceless, right? So those are some of the things that will also come in. So as Tushar was saying, content. So the third point is content management and distribution, right? Okay, so the distribution we talked about a little bit. So how do we distribute the content? One is through slide, right? Okay, this point you can make because we are recording it, but it's very important. So how do the content, so this is how we are capturing the content. So one is generating content. We are generating content through on-site event and online Zoom, right? We usually use Zoom, right? Okay, so that is the way we are generating content. Then we are capturing the content through this, whatever we talked about, right? And then after capturing, we are managing. So generating, capturing, managing, and then distributing it. Managing is the practice, how they manage it, right? So the factory talked about. But the very important aspect of management is now bring the whole content. How do we manage so many pieces of content? Because we're not talking about just 1,000 videos. We're talking about slides. We're talking about various other things, right? Now, I don't want to get into the very details, but it is very important to figure out that we also have slides. We also have podcasts. And we had plans, but it will take a little bit of time. We'll have at least one podcast a month. Okay. And there'll be a separate team for podcasts because there are only 13 online events. So one podcast a month is pretty cool, right? Now the podcast can be done by Health Hero. Tomorrow I'm recording a Health Hero, and we are starting a program called CWC Health Hero Spotlight. Okay. So every 2 months, Arushi, we're going to spotlight a health hero. Okay. Is Arushi there? Because she disappears at times. So just want to make sure. 5.
She's in the meeting.
Okay. 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 So no, this is very important because we're starting a spotlight, Arushi, and this spotlight that we're doing tomorrow is a fabulous person, and we want to have that in the mobile app, the spotlight. So health hero spotlight is another kind of thing. Now, whenever we are doing, I think you guys know, but I just want to tell you that whatever we record in Zoom can also be a podcast, right? You know that. Yeah. So when you record something on Zoom, the Zoom generates 3 kinds of files mainly. Okay. Whenever you record, like this program, I'm going to generate, okay, in the cloud, I'm recording this program in cloud. It will generate 3 kinds of files. One, the speaker view. Now I'm speaking, so it will give my view. Whoever speaks, that view will come. Okay. And the other is gallery, which will show everybody in their thing. And the second, and the third is an audio file. It automatically generates. You don't have to do anything. Zoom does it. Okay. Now you can take the audio file and create a podcast. And the podcast we did with youth and behavioral health was based on that audio file, right? So that's the podcast generation. Podcast doesn't mean a lot of work or anything. It's just smart technology management. Okay. So that's why the next topic is content management. So content management is using podcasts through this kind of audio files. Okay. How to use slides. I mean, how to kind of edit the slides and put them into another format, right? For distribution. And the distribution we do is through, you see the newsletter of January. I'll send it to you if you've not seen the newsletter. Tushar and Arushi has obviously seen it. In there, I'm not sure. So if you see the web newsletter, what will you see is that this newsletter has content. Okay. So the previous month's content is in this month's newsletter. Okay. And the newsletter also provides information about next month's event. Okay. So the newsletter gives a blip on past month's content, videos, and it also gives an extra. It may also have some podcast. So newsletter is one distribution channel. So this is how it moves from the factory and how it gets distributed. So one is the newsletter. Second, it could be also social media, but social media is only free stuff, not the priced one, right? Okay. It also goes to the YouTube channel. We have a private YouTube channel, right? Okay, so that's one. Then we have Amazon Cloud. All our data is going to be Amazon Cloud. Okay, so YouTube channel, Amazon Cloud, newsletter, social media. Social media is very restricted, only for promotion. Okay, because it will compete with the priced one, right? So it's a split promotion. Then we have the app, right? That's very important. The app. That's a main outlet from the app. So there are 3 kinds of member. One is a free member. So free members get certain type of video, and that's what Kamalika was editing. So one is free video. Then there's the first category of members are called starters. So starters get free video. They are free members, and they can enjoy video free, but limited videos. Okay, but then is Explorer. Explorer has more videos, and they pay $99 a year, right? And then we have the Challenger as well, right? So that has the Challenger has more access, and they pay a little more. Okay, so that's how it gets distributed, and that's a very important thing for global lens. Arushi, you want to add something there? Because as we have different categories,
you have covered all the things. So I'm pretty fine with it. But yes, I'm just focusing on only one thing again and again, which is the structure and the entire thing, because that is only which is going to make the difference going forward when we are looking for a big tech and such a varied, vast model where we are having content, marketplace, and other different things. It has to be synchronized, channelized, and everything needs to be in pipeline. Like you and Inder are very experienced, so you know that what I'm talking about. But this is my primary concern.
when I think your checklist will help. So see, I think everybody, resonates with everybody. The whole idea is that since you'll be doing it, some sort of a reference checklist will help, okay, as a part of the process, okay. And thanks, Tushar, you've given us statistics on all the video, like, so it's basically, less than 2 minutes, 247, 2 to 5 minutes, 338, 5 to 7, 87. Wow. 7 to 10 minutes, 70, 10 to 15, 74. Okay. Email this also, huh? I think I'm going to share it with some people. It's very useful, huh? Okay. So, but Arushi, what you're saying is all, but ultimately, see this. See, there has to be clear conduit of communication channel conduit, right? Where you give this, because everybody is well-meaning. Everybody wants to do what they want to do, but we should speak the same language and do the same kind of activities. That's important. So that was definitely something that we'll be looking forward to. So any question on the content management and distribution?
So Arushi, to your point, is there any company or any place that you have seen where the content is being managed and presented the right way so it's easy to search and AI can be more predictive with that?
I believe the use case that we are having in Khushi is quite different from the others. But yes, definitely we are having a lot of channels or forums. Even if we talk about YouTube, which is a very basic example. So it is managing content in form of videos, and we are doing it for video, audio, slides, and documents. But the entire mechanism of YouTube and ours is going to be on a similar line, where we are going to do the searches on the base of tags, meta tags, and description later on in the later phases, so that we can get the intelligence of that Khushi to go on that level where the search is unified and it is going for a cohesive result.
Okay, so you're saying you have more sources to worry about instead of just a YouTube. So it's going to be podcasts and everything. So, but the elements that we search for, or the guidelines have to be the same.
The elements are more, but the algorithm that is going to be used for any search functionality is going to be same. So if we talk about the elementary level, we have to structure all the things into that particular direction.
Okay, so for every output that we produce, certain guidelines have to apply to everything.
Right.
So that makes the app more effective. Okay, so I think like Somnath is saying, if there are any guidelines that you can publish and send them to us, then we can at least keep that in mind as we generate. We are going into courses, we are doing podcasts, we are doing.
Yeah, because we also need to tell you that there are courses happening, right? So how we do in the courses. So I'll send you this. This is very recent, right? And Inder is actively leading that effort. So these are things that you also need to know, right? And we have done it very smartly, right? Why do we do? We just said, I just questioned all these things and said, and see, other things that also mentioned, these are people, we're not paying them, right? The doctor, they're volunteering their time. If you ask them to do like a learning, it's a huge thing, right? So here, it's easy to manage the thing also, no? Easy to manage because we have to do something which we can manage, and the data flow is also pretty good, right? So that's how it's being done. So we can go to the role play now, if that's okay. Tushar, anything you wanted to say something?
Arushi, is it like the file manager app of our phone? If we search for a file with the name, then there is gonna top side headers that all, then videos, audios, document files, word file. Is it gonna be like that?
For the search functionality, yes, but for the intelligence part, no.
Okay.
Intelligence will do a lot on the tag, meta tags, right? Okay. And there were more complex relational databases, right?
Right.
More complex relational databases and all that. I mean, and it can, of course, we are not getting into any neural network or anything of that sort. That is a very different thing, but it will go to very complex databases and, calling those things, yeah. So role play. So just want to tell you, and Arush is very important for understanding changing the role play. So what will happen is that somebody like Kamalika will also be attending the session. Got it? And if she's not, then somebody will be doing that. Okay. And the person will be also studying the program, the folder, everything, right? And this is something that is going to start pretty quickly. Okay. So like tomorrow's program is at 7:30 your time, Tushar, huh? By the way, Kamalika actually has a very high fever, so she was not supposed to join the call. She joined, but she just texted me she had to leave because fever has gone up very much, right? So I'm not very sure whether she can join tomorrow because of that. And she's also undergoing some surgery, so she's not very well. So, but she's continuing doing the video work that she says she cannot do. So tomorrow's thing, if Tushar, you can join 7:30. You got all the details, and give that access to the folder to Tushar in there. So he can look at all the files and stuff like that, and then it can be done. Yeah. So in terms of role play, Arushi, it's very important for you to know the role play now because we are changing things, right? Are you there, Arushi?
Yeah, she's there. She's just muted.
I'm here only.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is some
Okay.
bandwidth issue at my end. That's why my video is off.
No, that's okay. No. Sometimes your connection is flaky and I don't see you. I just want to make sure that you're around. That's all. Because a couple of times you are not. You get knocked off a couple of times. So just making sure that you're not knocked off and you're listening because if you're concerned, you. Okay. So what we are saying here is that earlier videos were downloaded by Tushar meticulously. Before Tushar, I was doing it. I did it for almost 100 videos, more than 100 I did, right? But then Tushar got the account, right? Isn't it? Otherwise, I was doing it. I think because in 2020, we did 97 programs, right? I think in 2022, sometimes, sorry, 2021, you got the access to the site, right? So 100 ke baad, whatever. So then Tushar started downloading, right? But now what will happen is there's no point Tushar downloading now, right? Because ultimately it will be processed. Because why did Tushar download? Because he would download the video and then do some instruction and upload it for Devendra, right? Okay. Now Devendra is not in the picture now, right? And also it is directly going to the mobile app. So that thing has changed. The chain has broken, right? And there's nothing wrong about it, but that means change in role play. And Arushi, please chime in because you need to understand very clearly because it's going to change and this certainly is going to coming to you. Okay. So now during the session, either Tushar or Kamalika is going to be there. Okay. There are only 13 online, not a big deal, right? Okay. On site is we'll take care. We are not supposed to be on site when it is happening because it will happen daytime in India and you can't in the US. So no. But online 13 program on some very special program will tell you to be on site. So then what happens is that you can give very good instructions to Global Answer and they will download it. Okay, so you watch the thing because now you will also get more acquainted with the AI thing, right? Because see, aap AI use karoge baad mein, how would you know unless you see how the modeling is happening, right? So see, there's a front end and a back end, right? So I want to move you from back end to front end and then also in the middle end, right?
So Kamalika has been dropped out.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
No, I told you, she has texted me.
Okay.
She had high fever and has gone up. So she told me she has texted me. That's why I told you. She was actually not supposed to join, but she joined. I told her not to, but then she joined. But then she's not. Yeah, but that's okay. I mean, we are recording this thing, so we'll sort of. So coming back. So now, 10th February to 31st, sorry, till end of February, Devin is still going to be doing that. There are only 3 events, so that's cool. From 1st March, anything that happens, Global Answer, but Global Answer needs to know that right from now. Okay. And Arushi, who's your team member? You have to introduce the person, right? Okay. Who's your download? Because there is also a privacy and this thing required because you have the account details. I don't think we have changed the password, but you have to know who is handling it.
Of course.
So that person will download the video and what will happen, the program is over. After the program, either Tushar or Kamalika will give some instruction. And sometimes it's a very special, I will add my thing to it or Inder will add to it. Okay. So it's going to be entire teamwork with role play. Okay. So whatever Tushar or Kamalika sends will be copied to me and Inder. Okay. And ultimately they'll all be, Inder will be supervising all this and they'll be reporting to Inder anyways, right? So what will happen is that they will see whoever, one of them, not all of them, It will be Kamalika because she's the content person, okay? But Tushar will always be a backup. But ultimately, so Tushar doesn't, but Kamalika has to attend all the ones, right? Because she's going to do the editing, she has to be there, right? So she'll do it, but backup is required, okay? But then she will do all that and then send it to Global Answer with a copy to Inder and copy to me, okay? So once Inder, they do it, they send it to Inder and me and copy it. Then if I feel that something is not right, okay, then we can mention that there, okay? But then it has gone. Once it is gone, then after, Inder and I, whatever we do, we review, we are in the copy. It goes from Kamalika to Global Answer, that email, and the Global Answer person downloads the video. Then entirely is done by Global Answer. And Arushi will coordinate there and she will send a feedback. We got everything. And if there's any scope for improvement, she will say that. Okay, Arushi?
Right. I'll be.
So the quality check is happening through Kamalika. Okay. And also I am in the loops looking at it. Okay. I mean, just seeing everything is fine. We don't have to ultimately see, we cannot have 5 people taking responsibility, then nothing happens. Responsibility is Kamalika. There's nothing wrong, then she's responsible for it. Okay. But we should know, sometimes we have maybe some special background knowledge about the event, which Kamalika may not have, right? You get my point? So that we can add. Otherwise, it is her responsibility. It's very clear she's the person. She owns it. Anything happens, she's responsible. Then she gives it to Global Answer. Global Answer start the process and Global Answer gives an alert notification that it has been done. Okay, fine. And then we all know it is done. Okay. And then it will be, then Global Answer will say, where is the video? And we can check the video. Is it okay, Arushi?
Yes, absolutely.
And the instruction will also say, well, this is a senior, let's say tomorrow's senior program. So we'll say, and what I tell Kushar typically is that I said, cut it into 7 videos or 6 videos. I tell that. Okay, I said cut into 7. So if like tomorrow there are 3-4 speakers. So I said, average video is this, 1 for each speaker. Don't have a video for this speaker. I'll say that also. It doesn't mean there are 7 speakers, all the 7 have to have. We have to have
Okay.
video. I know what is important. So this kind of information will come. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
It will also have some tagline. And I also give some tagline to Tushar, right, Tushar?
Yes, sir.
So each of the
Taglines,
video
titles.
yeah. So once you get these taglines, and Tamalika will also learn the tagline, and that is why Inder and I our job is to help initially Kamalika on the taglines. Now once you get it, then you say, you know what, you can tell us, we got taglines from you, but it's not good. It's not appropriate. It's not working. Please change the tagline. Please do this. You got it, Arushi? So you will, so apart from giving the checklist, you will give this feedback. But you see, once we work like that for 1 or 2 months, everything will streamlined. Initially the problem hoga, na? There has to be some problem, right? How can it be so super perfect? Because we obviously are doing this for the first time and there's so many people involved, and maybe perceptions vary, na? Your perception of something, everybody is quality conscious, but your perception on other perception may vary, right? So I think 2 months or so, whatever, even 6 weeks, it will all streamline. What do you think, Inder?
Yeah, it'll take us a little while, but we'll get there.
Yeah. So that's the role play. Okay. And now Tushar now basically is going to be checking. So Tushar comes much later. Tushar will, once the video is done, everything is done, Tushar will check and he will give an update. And then the whole idea is he'll also see the app. Then he will look at the video from a user perspective. Got it, Tushar? You have to think that you are a user. You have given money and you are waiting for the video, and this is what it is, the user perspective. Okay. And then when the AI and other thing comes in, I will tell you what to do, Tushar, because you have other things to do also, right? You have to. And by the way, Arushi, I just want to tell you, Arushi, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here only, so.
Okay. So, yeah. Okay. So one thing I want to tell you is that today I have sent an email to all of you. Arushi. So what I would suggest is, Tushar, I had told him to do mapping of the website, which is going to help you a lot. Arushi, okay? You and your team. So he's done the mapping, but he's done it very well. He's done it very well. I told him, very thorough. So please see the mail that I've sent you. So Tushar has put it in the G drive. Okay, it's a shareable drive. And the drive basically does this way. Facebook, this. So it starts with a menu. So there's a menu. Everything. And then it starts with the home page. Then it starts with about us. Then it starts with stakeholders. Every button, everything on the website has been combing. He's combed the entire website. It's a combing operation, and it has been done that way. Okay, pretty nicely done. And you can see if there's something he's missing. Okay, now with that happening, it is very easy to audit the website and update the website. Tushar is the person mainly responsible for updating the website. Okay, and if he has to give any instruction to you or anybody, or suppose he may not give all the instruction, I may have to, but I will pass it on to Tushar, but he will give it to you, because it is not going to be an email coming to Global Lancer and saying, ye karo. That's not the way. We don't do that also, but that's not the way. So everything will be that, everything has been mapped there. So either Tushar puts it or somebody puts it there. Okay. So please have a look at it, and we can improve it, Arushi, because ultimately it's going to be yours and your team. So if it is not done properly, I thought it's done properly. I told Tushar, and we do things very systematically. So,
no, definitely, if you're saying it's done properly and Tushar has given a lot of
but
effort.
still, but you have to verify. Once you are satisfied,
I'll verify.
We try to.
I'll be needing the access to it. Okay, I have requested the access, so if you can share that part with me, that will be helpful.
Tushar, access is required, You created the files, so access is required from your site, right? Okay. So because I didn't download it, because it has to be online. Download is the problem, right? And in there, you also take a look at it. The whole website is mapped.
To me too. I haven't seen it either.
Because at times you also had said that there are certain things you need to change the website. So to change it, all you have to is go there in that page and just put your thing, or that's the way. It's very democratized. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's one thing I'll tell you. And the other thing before we hang up today is that the Health Hero list is ready, Arushi. Okay. It's online. Tushar will share with you. I put the email address also. But I think you, me, and Tushar need to have a separate call on the Health Hero. Okay. And we'll also take some help from Kamalika. It's a lot of work actually, because you also need the pictures, right? Tushar, what I've done is that I have a folder. So the website has a lot of pictures of Health Heroes, so we can take it from there. But I've created a folder and I've put all the pictures. I'll put in the shareable drive, Arushi, okay? Because pictures really give life to the whole thing, right?
Right.
So we don't have to have the entire address that you have there. So we don't need address. We just say city and country. City and country, zip code. In the phone number, you're giving the country code. So that's good enough. Zip code ka kya zarurat hai? You're saying city and country. So some of it, but otherwise, we are going there. It will, but it has started. We got 60, 70. We'll give some more, 100. We have more than 100, but we are keeping some people in reserve, because when we put somebody as a health hero, then what happens is that we have to be sure that the guy is responsive, right? So some people we know they are super responsive, right? So that's little evaluation that we're doing. Otherwise, it's there, and I have to give you the privacy and the disclaimer.
Right. That's very much needed. Yes.
Yeah, I'm so swamped. You know that. I don't have even time to give you excuse. Technically, you need time. I don't have time to give you excuses or give even. I don't have time to give you explanation why it is not coming. Because that also needs time to give you explanation, to tell you why it is stuck and how it is stuck, etc., etc. And you can imagine we are also doing the Challenger course, and Andy is also evolving, so lots of stuff. And the app is also, so great. Anything else? Anybody? Good call. Thank you for your time and your attention. You'll get the recording. Tushar, you can download. Just to put a tag. CWC team call on content management and content factory. Jo bhi hai, whatever the title of the thing agenda, so just put that there. And you can also email me that statistics of video size. That's very, very important. Very nicely done. So thanks to all of you. Anything else before we just hang up today?
Yeah, that's all. And I think that you, me, and Inder should connect. And after we have the structure in place, so that we validate it and put it across all the channels now and not later, because it is very critical if we talk about the management and the content part of it.
Okay.
That's fair.
That's the way to go. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks. Bye.
All right.